little box. Find your little box that's in your bag, like this big, little box. Yeah, open it up. What is it? What's it for?
Keep time.
Ah, it's to keep time, and it's going to count your steps. I have one for everyone. You all must wear it. Okay? I've charged them all up so they're ready to go. Take very good care of them. Don't wear them in the shower. Huh? They will connect to your phone, and your phone will record. I'm going to give to your room. Each room is going to have a piece of paper with a chart, and each person must tell how many steps today before you go to bed. Okay? And the room that's the best will be winning. Okay, so every week we will see who has the most steps for the week. Okay? So it will show on your watch. You'll have to figure out how to use them. I'm sure some, like, you'll figure it out very fast, right? You probably already know. And so then you can help others set theirs up. Okay, everybody has one? You all found it? Sorry. I have 10 more coming. They're on back order. So if you don't have one, it's because I'm still waiting for it to come. Because we thought we would have 30 students and we got more. So, to start with, I don't know how many of you walk very much. To start with, I would like you to get minimum 5,000 steps in one day. Okay? My goal is 10,000 steps in one day. Okay? Minimum 5,000. Next week, minimum 6,000. Following week, minimum 7,000. Okay? So you don't do it all at one time. So that until it's 10,000 in one day. Understand? Yes. It's very important to exercise. Very important. And sometimes we think we exercise a lot and we don't get very many steps, okay? So this way you'll all know. Water. Everybody have a water jug?
Get some too, but we don't have them yet.
Do you all have a water jug? Let me see. Hold it up. Ah, some don't have. Very sad. We have some for you, but they're not here yet. They're coming also. So we have a 1 liter water jug. You can use it or you can use your own.
Yeah. He's got the best one.
Meshach? Let me see your bottle. Ah! So in one day, how many of those do you drink? In one day, fully you have to drink that in one day. See, he knows exactly how much he drinks every day. For me, I have this and I fill it up more than 2 times, sometimes 3 full, okay? So I want you to count how much water you drink, because on that chart, it also has how many cups of water. So how many cups of water in 1 liter? You know what, yeah, you do cups here, right? One liter is like 4 cups of water. So if you drink 1 liter, you can count 4 cups. Okay? 4 glasses, 4 cups. Because on the chart it says cups. How many cups? I think. Not liters. Because when you say liters, then you're going to put 1.25. No, that's too hard, okay? So you have to measure it in cups. So every class has a 10-minute break at the end of the class. So the class starts at 9, it goes to 9:50. You have a 10-minute break. Next class starts at 10 o'clock. What are you going to do in that 10 minutes? You can drink water during class even. We don't mind that, but you can't walk during class. So it would be really smart if you would get up after every class and go out and walk so that you won't go to sleep in the next class. Okay?
You're walking
And you'll get your steps.
faster.
Now I'm also going to do a WhatsApp group for our class, for our batch. Okay? And I have all your phone numbers, I think, so I'll just add you to WhatsApp. So when you see it, I think it says RLCT 2022. So you'll know that's us. Okay? There is a bus that I'm told goes to town from here every 30 minutes. I think someone will need to figure out what the schedule is, because I don't know. And then you can go by bus. It'll be easier. So, but there's one that goes by to town.
If they need to go to town,
Yeah.
Getting back.
Huh?
Key is getting back.
finding a way
Where do
back.
you,
Well, they have to know where the bus stops so they can come back on the bus. Yeah, and I don't know. Somebody smart will figure that out. Any questions?
So if in your bags, there's handbook. We're going to go over some of the details in the handbook now and see if you have any questions.
So, if you have the handbook paper in front of you, something here precious from Luke 10:2. This dying world needs a message of a living Savior. Boy, is that ever true now more than ever.
Yeah.
God is calling people to prepare for service. And you know who that is? That's everyone sitting here.
Handbook.
Okay? Jesus said the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. You are his hands. You are his feet. You are his eyes and mouthpiece. He's looking for laborers. I'll be speaking to you tomorrow morning, so I'll save all that for instead of saying some of it now. The next paragraph, medical missionary work is the door through which the truth for this time is to find entrance into many homes. This is so true. God's people are to be genuine medical missionaries, for they are to learn to minister to the needs of both soul and body. Let me just say, one of the great challenges in our church is that if you're a pastor or a trained Bible worker with a world-class evangelist, or whoever you are and you've got some kind of a title, I just want to remind you, then you are servant of all. Jesus was a servant. He didn't ask everyone to minister to him. He ministered to others. And that's something we want to instill in you. This is important. The purest, unselfish, Christ-like service is to be shown by our workers as the knowledge and experience gained by practical work. They go out to give treatment to the sick. As they go from house to house, they will find access to many hearts. It is a number game. I've been a coal porter for 3 years. You think every house I went to wanted to buy books from me? No, they didn't. What did I experience? Tell me.
Rejection.
Rejection. In fact, one said, "Martha, get the gun." And I said, "Thank you, sir," and I turned and walked away. I didn't think he'd shoot me in the back. So, you know, rejection is what you get. And some of you Bible workers know that, and pastors. Many will be reached who otherwise never would have heard the gospel message. The great physician, Jesus, will bless all who thus work to impart the truth for this time. When you go door to door, house to house, you can't have your feelings riding on your shoulders so someone can punch them. You've got to trust in God and not let things bother you. Easier said than done, but just a reminder, Jesus is with you and you want to learn to be a laborer for Him. Thank you.
So you already know that our objective is to train health coaches who are actually health Bible workers. We're using health to be a Bible worker, but health is the way many times you can get into people's homes and hearts without them feeling like you're hitting them, with just the Bible. So then their hearts are open. We read in Acts of the Apostles, the ambition of the believers was to reveal the likeness of Christ's character and to labor for the enlargement of His kingdom. So that is our objective. And there's different ways you're going to be learning here, and one of them is, the main one is using health and in order to share the Bible. And the way we will be learning how to use the Bible will be through Bible storytelling, which will include all the basic beliefs in the Adventist church, but it will be through the Bible stories and storytelling. Because many times when you tell people a story, they will not feel like you're pushing your Bible or God on them, and they will be able to hear much better. So that's our focus on the Bible part. So we've already, we have different classes in Bible and history, and we've talked about them this morning, the different ones we'll be teaching. So you want to do the next part.
What part is that?
Turn the page. Turn the page. This part.
Okay, if you turn the page over to page 2 and down under standards and practices, we're looking at the bold print that says Bible principles. Students are expected to live in harmony with biblical teaching, the spirit of prophecy, and the guidelines of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
It's okay.
Some of you may not know all of those guidelines. If you're not sure, someone will probably pleasantly, kindly, lovingly come to you with maybe a little correction. But we are all grown-ups here, and we know if we're not doing something that is pleasing to God, we need to try to cooperate with each other. Next one, personal devotions. We strongly encourage each student to maintain a regular time for personal Bible prayer and Bible study. Without this experience, you will miss the blessing that could otherwise be yours during our time together. I don't have to tell you that there's power in the Word of God. Feed on what gives you power. Feed on what convicts your heart and mind. Feed on what gives you peace and love. You must feed on the Word of God. Your personal prayer time is also very, very important. Find a place. Might not be right there in your room. I encourage each of you to talk to God out loud. Not like as loud as I'm talking to you now. But why does it say in the New Testament, go into the closet so no one can hear you? So I have always encouraged everyone I've ever known, my wife and everyone else, speak like you would speak to a friend. You get on the phone, they can hear you, right? Speaking out loud does something to your mind and heart. You don't fall asleep, and your mind doesn't wander, maybe the same way. So if you've always talked to God without speaking a word, try what I'm suggesting, because it will change your prayer life, and you'll be happy for it.
It really will change your prayer life. I never used to pray out loud. And I read a book one time that talked about praying out loud. And I decided to try it. And it was like my prayers came alive. It was such a difference. I learned to praise God and thank Him and just connect with Him. Now, where we live now, where we were in Canada, I had a place where I could go. But where we live now, I have to find a place in the kitchen, in the pantry. And I'm like, this doesn't work. If people come in, you know, that's not so good. And I told somebody where I prayed now, and they were like, oh, and I'm like, what? So now I go and I pray in the bathroom, okay? That might sound really horrible to you, but I can shut the door, I can pray out loud, I can sing. Nobody will bother me. I have a private place. God comes in the bathroom too, right? He's not locked out of there. So wherever you find a place, it's okay, all right?
So we want social relations. We have we want everyone to be friendly with each other, encourage each other, and spend time together. But this is an intensive program, so we encourage you not to pair off with the girl you have your eyes on or the guy you have your eyes on. We would encourage you to, if you're going for walks, to walk in groups rather than pairing off with someone of the opposite sex. And so that's the encouragement we have for you. We want you to mingle and enjoy each other's company, but we would appreciate if you would be in groups. Okay. So also the young men or any men, just stay on the first floor. Don't go up to the second floor, please. That's the ladies' domain. All right. So we encourage you to not get involved with that too much. So also, we've already said it earlier, but regarding our relationships, is that we have different levels of education here. Some people are very educated and others are not. But we encourage you that if someone is going to be leading out, we're going to be having a lot of different group practicing. And if someone's leading out that's very shy, those of you who know what you're doing, don't take over. Okay? Give them the opportunity to learn what you already have learned, right? You've learned how to speak and talk and share, but give the shy ones, just be quiet, let them grow also, maybe give them a little encouragement, but don't take over, please. That's really important that everybody has their turn in our training to be able to grow and develop. So be patient with them and help them, but don't take over.
So I got recommendations for all of you, right? Everyone gave me some names and they filled in a form, and your recommendations were all very good. So I know you're all going to work together and be happy together because your recommendations said that's the way you were. Okay? We just want to know that here we feel that we're all equal. Now, some of you might be a pastor, an evangelist, a nurse, a teacher, whatever you are, but which one's better? A pastor, an evangelist, a servant? Who's the best one? Jesus said, whoever is least among you, let him be a servant. So that means that I'm the least if I'm a servant. Was Jesus a servant? Was he the least? And he was okay with that, right? He was okay with, we call it coming under, okay? Humbling himself. Jesus humbled himself. And in Matthew 25:23, he said, well done, faithful servant. Well done, faithful servant. You have been faithful. Now I will give you a reward. So here, no matter what you are, a pastor, a teacher, a nurse, whatever you are, we want you to know that we're all students. Even I'm a student. I'm still learning, okay? We're all still learning. Even if we're not learning from the Bible, we're learning from God how to be better Christians every day. So I hope you're all students. So we want you all to not feel like someone's so much better or I'm so much worse, okay? I'm so Maybe you know more about medical things and they know more about spiritual things. That doesn't mean I'm better than you. We're just different. God made us all different. If you know the answers, don't feel like you have to always give the answer. You know, I feel that way. If somebody asks a question and I know the answer, I'm like, if I don't answer, they'll think I'm stupid and I don't know, right? So if I have an answer, I feel like I have to give the answer. Don't feel that way, because then the others will not learn. If one or two people give all the answers, the others will not have to think. So we will call on different ones. Be prepared. Sometimes we'll call on a person specifically. We'll give your name. Sometimes we'll say, this row needs to answer this question, okay? So we want you all to have a turn. So you all will think, okay? That's our goal here, to help you learn and help you learn how to think. Many young people that we've come across in India, it feels like in school they learn to memorize. You memorize exactly what the teacher says and you'll get a good mark. But they don't learn to think, to go through and say, why is it like this? Why is it like that? What should I do? Because it's not like this, it's like this, and I didn't learn what to do when it was like this. So we want you to learn to think. God gave you a mind, not to be a robot, not only to say what somebody told you to say. He wants you to think, so that when the trouble comes at the end, you can know what to do because you think, okay? So that's our challenge for you. We look forward to next 4 months, helping you to learn and grow along with everyone else.
Okay, regarding Sabbath observance, we want to keep the Sabbath from sundown Friday to sundown Sabbath. It's a special time for us to spend time with God and worship together. And we're asking that secular activities such as shopping, laundry, cleaning, cooking, business, and distracting amusements are to be avoided during the time of the Sabbath hours. Now, in the kitchen, we're going to try to make our meals as simple as possible on Sabbath, so there's not a lot of work done on the Sabbath. You have to have some when you're preparing some food, but that's what our goal is. And then regarding clothing, we'd like you to be wearing clothing that's modest and neat and clean without distracting writing on your shirts and those things. And for ladies, no see-through apparel and low-cut clothes. And if you're going to be wearing just dresses, make sure they cover your knees, please, at all times. Obviously, if you're wearing a salwar, that's different. But if you're wearing a dress just by itself, okay? Let's see. Gentlemen wear neat pressed pants and button-up shirts or nice shirts. It's not a time to be wearing clothes that you're going to be out working in the garden, okay? And for recreation, wear modest casual clothes is fine for exercise and other things in the evening. So,
I think the next item you have in bold, forbidden items, I don't think it's something we need to spend a lot of time on. In no case will dangerous, ungodly items be found among you, such as explosives, gunpowder, firearms, recreational drugs, tobacco, alcoholic beverages, betel nut, pornography. Pornography is a big issue with men. We haven't talked about it, but I could tell you if anyone gets caught with pornography, that's immediate expulsion. So, we don't have to go there. You might be tempted. This might be the time to be done with it forever. We don't do that type of stuff. No sexual relations outside of marriage. No witchcraft items are permitted in your housing or possession of all of you students. Discover of such an item, oh, there it is, immediate dismissal. I hadn't read ahead, so there you are. Cell phones and laptops. When I leave our campus at SUD, I am absolutely amazed at the cars that we pass. Someone's driving and looking at their phone. In America, that's an immediate fine. In Canada, it's an immediate fine. That's how you have accidents. But everyone in India lives on their phones. So it says here, cell phones and laptops should not be used in class during training activities except with teacher's permission. That means when you're in class and someone calls you, no phones. If you need to call your parents tonight and say, Mom, Dad, sister, brother, whoever you talk with, I'm not allowed to take phone calls during class time. That is not acceptable. Yeah, lunchtime. We discourage students from spending much time on cell phones or other electronics, as it will take away from their focus on schooling. You're going to be using your brain to think and memorize. I'm good at thinking, and you're way better at memorizing than I am because it's part of your culture. Indians have great memories. North Americans have great thinking. So we want both from you. Okay. Entertainment and music. I had a student in Thailand in our training, would not stop listening to rock music. He ended up choosing to leave the program. The whole atmosphere completely changed in our whole student population. It was amazing. We didn't have a big group of trainees, but the whole atmosphere was now wanting to learn and follow God, because rock music and bad music has a very spiritualistic, satanic in some cases, effect on you. You may not be aware of that. Maybe you've grown up listening to some bad music, but you'll be learning about some of that in the future. Please do not watch inappropriate movies or play computer games during the training. All music used in the training functions must be done to honor God and not include worldly, sensual styles. We strongly discourage watching any movies during the next 4 months. Are we going to have some movies? Yes, but they're going to grip you. You are going to be so convicted about some things. I can hardly wait to watch what you're going to see. And it's going to make you very excited. And so, yeah, we're going to be presenting some things up front here, but they are absolutely dynamite. They're fantastic. And you will really get an powerful impact from what you're going to see. Thank you. Oh, integrity. All students are expected to have a high level of integrity. What's that? What's integrity? Integrity means give your neighbor, your classmate, your roommate, the benefit of the doubt. Integrity means I'm not suspicious, you did this or you did that. Integrity means honesty, truthfulness, but the way your mind functions. Try to be thoughtful. If someone steals something from you, which we hope doesn't ever happen here, you need to be careful the way you talk to someone. And maybe going to them or getting someone else might be important. Integrity is very important. Jesus maybe said some strong words to people, but he had tears in his eyes when he spoke to them. Respect for authority and property. Respect is to be shown for those in authority. This includes communication, whether public or private. If there are genuine grievances, please address the staff directly. Okay? Please be respectful of the training equipment and campus property. Are we going to talk about food here? Is that somewhere?
They're not allowed to go in the center part of the campus.
Right. You're not allowed to go in the center part of the campus. Okay? There's a walkway that goes all the way around the campus where you can get your steps in.
The center part of the campus is a special area where they do sports events. There's equipment there that we are not allowed to use because only trained people come and help people use it. So they've asked you can go on the trail, but don't go on the inside of the trail anywhere, okay?
Are you going to talk about food in there? Or is that later? Okay. Honesty. All forms of honesty, such as lying, cheating, stealing, are grounds for dismissal. Honesty and kindness at all should be shown in one's interaction with other students. Influence. Christian students should use their influence to encourage their fellow students in a godly manner. So, it wouldn't hurt, maybe this week, to just read through this one time and just refresh your mind of what's expected of you in case one of your roommates or classmates said, oh, let's go do this. And you're saying, I don't know if, maybe that was in the handbook and maybe we shouldn't do that. But if you don't know what's in here and you can't remember, it wouldn't hurt to just one time this week, read through it and refresh your memory.
So attendance, we encourage each of you to take responsibility for attending class, and we will be taking attendance at every class, and that will be part of your grade at the end. We include it in that. We encourage you to participate in all the classes and worships and events, and also in outreach activities. So if you need to be going somewhere special or a special weekend, please talk with Cheryl here and clear it with her and let her know and that you need to be going. Also, if you need to be going to town, it's just good to let people know that you've left the campus in case we're looking for you, right? It's not like we're trying to control every part of your life, but let either Beulah or Helen know if you're leaving campus so that they can know that you're gone and that you'll be coming back, or Rebecca. Okay. So if you're absent, if you need to be absent from a class, if you're ill, then let your teachers know, okay? Also, if you're late for class, that will be marked down, and if you're more than 10 minutes late, it will be considered an absence. So, and that will, especially at the beginning of classes when explanations are being made on the whole class. So it's really important to be early and on time. So we're asking you not to eat in the classroom. Water is very acceptable, but not food. Yeah.
So back on attendance and the idea of absent and tardy. There's 3 kinds of students, right? Early, on time, and late. No late students. Early or on time. Because if you're not on time, what does it do? It affects the whole class. This is wrong.
Because then everybody's kind of waiting.
We're waiting,
all there.
and we're not going to wait for you.
And I know you all have a watch.
She gave it to you.
I don't know why I'm standing here.
When you're late, you're not respecting the class teacher and you're not respecting the other students.
The time.
Think about that. remember, we are a team, we're working together, and if the teacher is wanting to start on time and you're walking or not fooling around, but maybe talking with another student out there, don't do that. You need to be early or right on time, please.
So we're asking you not to keep the classroom neat and not leave your belongings all around. Take them back every evening with you when you go back to your rooms. And one other thing we would like to encourage you, which for some of you might be hard, but we don't want to be inclusive, meaning during meals and in class, we really encourage you to speak English. Okay? So that, because we're all in this together, right? And there's different language groups here and there and around. So in your rooms or every other time, that's fine. But we're just encourage you. Yes, dear.
I was just thinking today, if you're at a table with only your language group and nobody else joins you and you have to speak your language, but if somebody else joins you that doesn't understand your language, please switch. Okay, that's only polite.
And we also want to encourage you to mix with north and south, east and west, right? Get to know each other. Yeah. And that's the common language, no? Yeah. So students, you'll be graded on your attendance, conduct, participation, and performance and tests. So it'll be an overall overview for that. And then at the end of the course and 1 month internship, then you'll get your certificate. So
I think there's a few people that struggle with some English. The more you speak it, the more you hear it, the better it will become. So practice your English while you're here, okay? When you go home, they'll all say, wow.
You learned so much English. Okay.
You know, just a thought on grades. In Thailand, I had, so turn your page, student leave. I think we've already covered this, but I'll just say, when leaving campus short term, we sign out.
No sign out, just tell somebody.
Tell someone, thank you. If you're leaving for an emergency or weekend leave, you need to fill out a student leave form, and someone will have those.
You had one last time.
I know.
We need something in writing so that we know you left or that you need to leave, but you want to talk with Dr. Dunn.
Then you tell them.
I think if you just send me an email, at least a few days before, and we'll discuss it in our committee, okay? So if you know now that you're going to go in August,
Or
let us
July
know
for a
now
weekend.
so we know, okay? When you're gone, even for one day, it impacts the class a lot because this is an intensive. We're covering a lot of things and we're making it into a short time. And even one day, you could miss something that's very important. So we're encouraging you, please try not to leave during this 4 months. There's emergencies, there's things that happen, but we're asking you to please do your best.
So, of course, you all have a room that you're sharing with some other very nice people, right? And you'll learn how nice they are during this time. Each of you should have a sheet, a blanket, and a pillow. If you don't, please ask for some. And also, we're in each of you as a team in your rooms are to keep the rooms clean. They're to provide cleaning supplies, should be on each floor.
There, by the stairs.
Okay, there's cleaning supplies by the stairs, so you can use those to keep your rooms clean.
And sometimes we might come and inspect them.
She's a good inspector.
Oh, I'm bad.
A bad inspector. Okay. And then for laundry, each of you will be given a bucket today. The bucket is actually for your hydrotherapy treatments, but we're going to allow you to use them for laundry, except on Wednesday and Thursday. Don't have your clothes soaking on Wednesday or Thursday because you need to bring them to class. Okay? But the rest of the time, you each have a bucket. All right? So we'd really like to encourage you in the mornings to have a quiet room. So those who are having their devotions, they're able to hear God speaking to them instead of talking and da-da-da-da-da, okay? So morning time in your room to be quiet. And then also late at night, please be thoughtful of others. And also when they're studying, so just be thoughtful of those around you. And quiet time is like at around 9, and then lights out at 9:30. So that's the idea.
Okay, cafeteria. I'm sure cafeteria is one of your favorite places, right? So it says a vegetarian breakfast, lunch, and supper will be served in the cafeteria 7 days a week. Please help with sign cleanup. That will be coming. Do not go into the kitchen to get your own food or food supply. If there is any problem with the food, you do not go to the cook or the staff or anyone there. You come and talk to Helen, Eula, or Rebecca, and they will talk to us. And the whole idea is we had a lot of trouble in our last training. So this little handbook is a reflection of a better way to do something. Okay? If you don't like something, maybe you want more of this or more of that, maybe we can help you, maybe we cannot. But if something is not to your liking, by all means, we want to hear what it is because we care. And if it's something we can change or make a difference in, we'll do our best. If we can't, we hope that you have a good attitude over it and that we will recognize that maybe your request is not something.
We also want to share with you that we have never worked with this cook that is going to be cooking for us. She has not cooked healthful food before, so it will take her a little time to adjust and learn what our needs are here. So we pray that you will be patient, and also you can share your ideas, but it's going to take a little time for her to get used to cooking brown rice and not so spicy and not so oily and things like this. So, but we will be working with the cook on this and encouraging and helping her to learn also. So we hope this doesn't happen to any of you, but if there is someone who's unwilling to cooperate, we will make every effort to work things out with you, but if you are unwilling to work things out, we may have to ask you to leave, and we don't think that should happen with anyone, but we reserve the right to ask you to leave if you need to. But we really want to hear from you, not just for you to go telling other people, I don't like this and this and this. If there's something you really don't like, please come and talk with us. We want to work together as a team. That's how we are, and that's what we are hoping that you can do with us.
I think we could nicely and kindly say your first duty, if something is that bad, is to come talk to us. Don't go around and talk to everyone in every room and everything. You come talk to us, because it may be something we're not aware of what's happening. We're not here at night. We're not here early in the morning, so there's things we're not seeing. And if we're not seeing them and there's some male or female who is not considerate or thoughtful or pushy or bossy or whatever, and you come talk to us, okay?
Well, if you can work it out between you, that's the best, right? And then if you can't, then you talk to someone else to get help.
Yeah, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And you'll have to let God lead you. And why am I saying that doesn't always work? It's not your responsibility to get someone else to be kind and loving and gentle and thoughtful because that's God's responsibility. And if they haven't learned it, like what could I say about boys in this culture?
Don't.
I'm going to say it. I watch
Not every boy.
young fellows on our campus getting spoiled to death. The girls are servants like slaves, and the boys are all spoiled. Not in my culture back in North America, not in Canada or the U.S. That doesn't go that way. So you fellas, you might need a little more correcting than the girls.
Different parts of India are different culture too.
Yeah, and maybe not up in the northeast or the north, but down here, I see it all the time. So I just let you know what I observe and what I see.
Okay, so that's going over the basics of how we'll all function together, hopefully well, smoothly. And so we're so happy that you're here.